Hello and welcome to week 10 of my weekly reflections. This is the final week of rehearsals before we go into tech week. It's been an interesting week. It's been a lot of kind of the same thing because we've just been doing small sessions with our movement and vocal director, and then we've just been doing a few stagger throughs and run throughs. So on Monday we had a session with Elian, which was really helpful because it seems that whenever we do the Sissonian women, we all kind of forget, or we kind of get out of time somehow from like the kind of melody that we're supposed to be in. And so yeah, it's really good to have like one or two sessions with them every week to kind of remind us where we're supposed to be. Especially for me as a non-singer, I get really confused about when to come in and also when to stop. I'd say that's something that I really need to work on for the actual show, because there's a point where a lot of people know exactly when to stop, and for me I don't know, because we cut off like halfway through the sentence, and most of the time I get it right, I count correctly, but sometimes I don't. And yeah, so that's definitely something that I need to work on, is just kind of going over that song by myself and making sure I stop at the right time. And we also went over the Palace of the Sun jingle, because we've got like 4 different harmonies. We've got 4 different harmonies, and then people swap for the second bit. So yeah, that's confusing for me as well. All this vocal stuff I have to pay like so much attention to because I get really confused. But yeah, having that session with Elian was really helpful on a Monday morning, because it just kind of reminded everyone exactly what we're supposed to be doing in those vocal heavy scenes. And Monday we did a stagger through, which was really good. It's so nice. It's just kind of really coming together at the moment. And I think on Tuesday we did our first kind of run, like it was like our first full run through, which was like really interesting to do because there was no breaks, and it was like basically how it would be in the show, without like all the cool effects and stuff. So that was really interesting, and there's definitely some things that people need to work on, like speeding up a little bit, because Nat was saying how she wanted to shave some time off because she timed it, and I think it was like 8 minutes over what she wanted to do. And I was just thinking about my scene, how it's going to be even longer in the show because I'm on the trapeze. But we discussed that, and that's fine. She's thought about that. It's just like other scenes that there's just time being like taken up where it shouldn't. So that's something that we're all trying to work on, like making the transitions really quick. They don't need to be long. They're not very interesting. So this week has been particularly intense for me, because we're going into tech week next week. Nat has wanted a video of me on the trapeze doing my scene every day, which has been a struggle. I managed 4 days out of 5 because we went to see the first year's dress, so I couldn't do it that night. But it's particularly difficult for me because I do my trapeze rehearsal straight after our kind of daytime rehearsal, so I don't start till about 7 p.m. and by that time I am so tired. I'm already tired from the first rehearsal, so kind of having enough energy is something that I have been struggling with this week, because when it gets to the evening I just want to go to sleep. I don't really have enough energy for the trapeze. But I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking when we go into tech week and the show week, it's going to be like so much easier for me, because I'm only really going to have to get on the trapeze for my scene, obviously in the rehearsals as well, but like that's going to be far less than what it is now, because at the moment I'm spending like an hour or 2 every day on the trapeze, and next week it'll only be like probably like half an hour a day. It'll be so much easier. and a lot less strain on me, which would be great. Last week I made a route map, which I've been adding to constantly through all the run-throughs, and yeah, so it's constantly changing because and I think it will change more when we get into tech, because we'll realise that some things don't work and what has to change. Yeah, I went over some specific singing scenes. I think I worked well in the group this week because everyone was quite tired by this point, and I think I was a good support to people, especially in my big break, because I have a huge break in the middle of the show. I have like 6 scenes that I'm not in before my big scene, so I can kind of take that time to kind of help other people and see like what they are needing. A challenge that I've faced this week is working out like where to come on from, because it keeps changing at the moment. But I think by next week that will be solidified. I mean, it's kind of already decided, but luckily I've got my route map, because it does actually really help me. If I'm confused, I'll just go over to my route map and be like, oh, okay, now I understand. But yeah, it's continuously changing because Nat has different kind of artistic visions that she wants to kind of have played out. But yeah, next week is going to be a long one because we're going to be teching, and I'm going to get on the trapeze finally, like in our real rehearsals, gonna like put it in the show, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see it all in the space. Yeah, so I need to remember all the usual things like my notebook, my water, and I need to, for the trapeze, I need to bring rosin for my hands and my back of my legs and the trapeze bar to be sticky so I don't fall off. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.